What's going on, my blushing brides? Fens the Spook, going bump in the night, part 2 of the October special. October is DC Mystery Month. Again, usually, or I think everyone understands that DC Mystery is a reference to DC Horror. They called it their mystery line. I've always found that weird that the term mystery can kind of imply horror. Like you go to a bookstore, where's your horror? Oh, it's in the mystery section. I mean, I guess, but anyway. One thing I wanted to get out the way because I'm already losing my train of thought, and this is not a good sign. I owe a huge apology to Luther Manning. I tried to give a good spotlight on a couple channels in the last video that I thought you guys might be interested in talking about. And I got to his channel and I was telling about the things he said, and then I realized I didn't really even know his channel name. I knew it was Luther something, and because in my head I just call him Luther. I'm like, oh, there's Luther. Luther put up a new video. Let's see what Luther's got to say. I don't even know if that's his name, really. I mean, it's just the name of his channel. And I just bungled that completely, man. My sincere apologies. So the full channel name is Luther Manning. Guy's got some cool, honest introspection into comics. He's kind of all over the place. He does CGC. He does regular books, or raw books, rather, vintage, modern. So, yeah, I think he's a little something for everybody. So check him out. And again, my sincerest apologies, my man. It was not intended to go so south. I just was ill-prepared. As I always am, and odds are I'll say something in this video that'll probably cause me to throw this one out too. So anyway, as you can see, we're doing Ghosts tonight. It's a rather long run. I don't know that we're going to get through the whole thing here. Again, like I said, I was going from least favorite to most favorite. It doesn't mean I don't. Again, all of these, I like everything in the DC horror line, all of it. There really isn't a worst. It's just least best, I guess. And the reason I say that with Ghosts is just because the quality drops off pretty fast. With House of Mystery and Witching Hour and things like that, they start in the 12 cents or 15 cents maybe not 12, 15, or the mystery format anyway, horror format really. And then it goes into 15 cents and then 20 cents and then 25 cents. And by then it's kind of fallen off and it's just gotten to be a regular old Bronze Age horror book. Ghost has a bit of a stint early on. You can see that this one starts at 25 cents as well, but these are the giant size 25 centers or 52 page. I think they're 52 page. Yeah. So although the price on the front is a quarter, this is not from what you would consider the quarter price front era. You know what I mean? It's probably is more like the 15-cent era. So they have a couple coins, and it's not like the price on the cover dictates the quality, but it really does seem to delineate between when they had really strong writers and artists like covers like this versus when it just kind of gets a little more mundane. But anyway, like I said, Ghost drops off a little quick for me. But at least it starts off strong, because Secrets of Haunted House kind of starts off mediocre and ends even more mediocre. So Ghost has a little bit more on that one. And there are some cool covers, especially if you like skeletons, man. So there's Ghost number 1. And there's Ghost number 1. You know me. You know me and my multiple copy obsession. Both probably about the same. Fine to fine, very fine. I don't think either of them is super high grade. This one I think is a little bit lower grade than the other one. Lower condition. I'm going to stop saying grade. I'm fighting the good fight, right? Grade, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be, because I said something about the other Overstreet in a video I did that was absolutely not true, and I realized it later, but I believe the Overstreet makes a definition that grading is a book that has been like professionally graded, whereas condition is, an amateur assessment of the book's condition or situation. Anyway, Ghost number 2. You can see they're still doing the scroll work here. But like I said, I'm not really going to talk about each issue, maybe just some of the early ones. This one's okay. My buddy really likes these scroll covers, and I just, they're all right. They're better than the later stuff. I mean, the bat in the upper left corner always carries it a little bit for me. But anyway, like I said, for the most part, I'm just going to be talking, kind of moving through the covers so that I don't linger on too long and this doesn't take forever. But anyway, yeah, so it's been a couple days since I did the last video. Not really anything's changed. I haven't picked up anything. Oops, apparently I have 2 of those too. I was thinking about maybe doing a giveaway at the on Halloween maybe. I don't know. I'll probably put details in a future video if I decide to go that way. Like I said in another video, I've kind of shied away from the sub contests and the stuff like that. Oh, that was not even Mylard. Ooh, shame on me. Yeah, I've stayed away from the sub contest and all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with that stuff. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I never really wanted to do it. And, you know, but I think it would be kind of cool just to throw something somebody's way. But the thing is, what I don't want to happen, here's one of my haunted transportation covers with the carriage in the sky. It's pretty sweet. Or hearse coming through the sky at midnight. That's a pretty sweet cover. Oh, I think my cat's going to bust in here and ruin this video. This one I like a lot just because of the color contrast of the pinks and the blues. It's very Driving Miss Daisy too. I don't know. I like this cover. Just like I said, the color contrast. I like that. I do not like the DC banner up top being yellow. I think that's really hideous. They do it. Sorry, I'm just getting a drink here. They do it in a House of Mystery or two, and I just really don't like that. But anyway. So yeah, I was thinking about doing a giveaway. So just keep an eye out if you see a book you really want or something like that. Let me know, and maybe at the end of the giveaway, or maybe I'll pick somebody's name out and give you all a way to enter, and I'll let that person kind of pick out a book they saw they want. As long as it's not crazy. I mean, I'm obviously not giving up certain books, but maybe like one of those Ghost #1, something like that. You know, it's a $30, $40 book. I don't see anything wrong with that. This is a cool one, little Swami guy on the cover here. A lot of my later ones are higher grade, but some of these early ones are a little bit off shape. So anyway, yeah, so this is Ghost. I think, like I said, I think we're going to do 1 through 56 here and just do half of them. Because we're already at 6 minutes. I'm on number 8, you know what I mean? Or yeah, so this is probably not going to be a one video situation. But that's all right. I got a whole month to drag this out. We'll see how the views dwindle to dust. Speaking of which, you guys have been really receptive to the videos. I appreciate that. A lot of comments, a lot of interaction. That's awesome. Again, you know, I'm sure you know, because you don't see the ads, but none of my stuff's monetized. It's not really about clicks or, you know, really views for any kind of profit. It's just, you know, interacting with the community, which I know I bitch about frequently, but, you know, we're all in it together. This is a severely miscut book, if I'm not mistaken. This looks hideously miscut. Can y'all see that? Ugh. Oh man, I don't like that at all. Kind of shame that I bought that, to be honest with you. I'm usually kind of fussy about badly miscut books. I don't like that. But, you know, I let it ride apparently on that one. So anyway, what's been going on with you guys? Let's see. We got a lot of good comments on the last video. Like I said, I do appreciate that. And what else is going on? What else did I want to talk about? Well, we got a little drama, if you guys want to hear about that, a little Facebook drama. It's not really mine. And notice they're still doing the scroll work. I actually didn't realize it went this long, to be honest with you. You see what I mean? The outline of the scroll here. The whole cover's on a scroll. So I joined a Facebook group, or I was invited to join a Facebook group. A local one in my town. Distinguished Comic Collectors, it was called, or something like that. Just a couple of friends of mine, some guys I met through the store. And I can tell you right now, and I think one of them probably watches this video, so, you know, what's up, dude? You know who you are. The B-Man. As you can see, the quality's already dropping off on these covers. I mean, what's this, like a ghost hand Sandman coming out and grabbing a dog? Like, I don't know. But anyway, so I joined this comic group, and, you know, people are posting about their want lists, or not want lists, but their stuff that's for sale and all this different stuff. And I could tell right off the bat that I'm really not. This is just a kind of different group of collectors, kind of like we've talked about in some other videos. This is a group of collectors that's more onto the, you know, flipping and getting the hot book of the minute. You know, they're tipping each other off like, hey man, you need to get all those appearances of Gwenum and all this stuff. And I mean, that's cool. Like I said, I mean, I know a lot of y'all are into the Spider-Gwen or Gwen Pool and Gwen universe, but just in general, that's not my thing, as we've talked about a million times. So, you know, right off the bat, I was a little out of place in the group. And then, so what happened, the crazy part, or what's kind of, I guess I said the drama, is this other fella came in the group, added in after me and immediately just posted up like 18 books and just said, hey, here's these books. Make me an offer. Don't lowball me, and I don't care about eBay. That was literally what he said, right? I know a bunch of you probably buy off Facebook all the time, but I don't. It's not something I do. I've only done it once. And so anyway, he posts this up, and he puts up just a bunch of stuff that I really wasn't interested in. All like he said, kind of modern bronze, hot books for the moment. Inhumans #1 and stuff like that. Sorry for the noise. I'm moving stuff around in the short box. And so he had a Firestorm #1, or Fury of Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, the second series, #1, which I don't have, and I want for my run because I think Firestorm's cool. He's one of my favorite of the Justice League characters. I really like Firestorm, even though he's more modern. And anyway, so I hit him up, and I was like, well, hey, man, what's up with that Firestorm? And he's like, oh, man, it's a 9.0, and all this other stuff, which is not. It's a raw book, man. It's not a 9.0. It's just, you think it's a 9.0. I got that. So he says that, and then he's like, well, make me an offer, man. And I'm thinking, like, all right, well, I can buy this book for, like, in anybody's $3, $5 bin. It used to be hot, but that's, when he had his little CW stint. That's come and gone. It's not a first appearance or anything. So I'm like, all right, this book goes anywhere between, like, $5 maybe to, like, $15 if it's a newsstand. Which his was. So I was like, look, man, I'm going to throw $8 at him because, he's local. And honestly, man, I'm kind of at $5 on it. And maybe I'll throw him $3 just to be a nice guy. And we'll go from there. So I threw $8 at him. Well, he wasn't having that. He wanted $30 and all this other stuff. And so I was just like, well, hey, man, it's cool. I'm never going to get riled up about that kind of thing. I just said, hey, look, we're just clearly at different places on that book. Well, so what happened was, so then someone else must have asked him for a book price, just like I did. He must have given him the same spiel, like, hey, man, you make me an offer. And they were just like, they just called him out, and they were just like, nah, man, look, that's not how it works here. Like, you put a price down, you say, make an offer, but then don't lowball me. And it's, what are we supposed to do? And so they got into it, and the whole thing is just, the whole group page is just kind of turned into them going back and forth, and it just reminded me of why I don't interact with a lot of the guys in the comic community. Because, these guys are all right, all one-on-one, but when you get them together, it's a little bit like a bunch of hens clucking at each other, you know what I mean? Like over a couple scraps of corn, and I don't know. It just really, the whole thing just turned me off in a serious way, and I don't know. Nothing crazy there. Let me go and move these, and I'll put up another stack. Nothing crazy there, just thought that was kind of a silly little goings-on in the comic community. But speaking of Facebook, I did buy my first Facebook purchase ever. Connected with a guy through one of these other fellas I was actually talking about just now. And he had like a Crisis on Infinite Earth set and a couple other things. And I think his prices were a little high, to be honest with you. But sometimes when you're trying to make a deal with a guy and he's got some stuff and it looks like you might get somewhere in the future, you kind of want to... sometimes you just need to break the ice and let the deal get done, even if it's not really where you wanted to be on it. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. I picked up a Crisis set. Let me see if I can turn that, get a little better color. There we go. Oh, and it falls over, of course. All right, we'll scrap that. But anyway, I should bring that in. That's cool. I forgot that wasn't in the last video. This is actually an old vintage Halloween mask. If you flip it over, you can see the perforations on the nose and where the strings were. I got this at the same place I got all the other stuff at. Again, I think I paid like $10 for this or something, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm sure if you watched auctions online and stuff, you could get it for like next to nothing. But anyway, so yeah, I picked up a Crisis on Infinite Earth set and like 2 or 3 other books, which he had like $10 on, and I just, I don't know. It is what it is. So he had the Crisis set at $75, and then he had like $10 on these other books. So I guess what's that, like $105? And then I figured it was going to be at least $5 shipping, with the medium mail, because it was coming from California and I'm out in Florida. So, he hits me with $95. And I'm just like, man, I don't know. I was really hoping you'd do 50 on the Crisis. And how about this? You do 50 on the Crisis, and I'll pay your $10 on the other books, even though I don't really feel like $10 is really where they're at. I think, one of them was like a Shazam or something. I can't remember what they were. It shows you how much I wanted them, right? But anyway, So he worked with me a little bit. We got to 85, which is kind of in between. I wanted to be at 80, or maybe I wanted to be at 80, and he wanted to be at 95, and he hit me at 85, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So broke my Facebook. Well, actually, I'm not gonna say what I was about to say. Yeah, first Facebook buy. I don't want to get crude. So that was cool. We'll see. Supposedly the Crisis set is like very fine near mid, because I had a Crisis set that was kind of off grade. Kind of like this cover, just to interrupt myself here. I don't know why the skeleton covers are just not really my thing, because they're just probably because they're so plentiful. But this one's cool, the skeleton and armor. I like that one. Let's bring that in for a minute. Check that out. So hopefully I'm not boring the shit out of you guys. I didn't promise good talks now. I just promised you a month of DC horror, all right? So it's going to be what it is. So here's a cover that Luther Manning featured in a video recently. Or maybe not recently. Maybe I just watched it recently. I'll get backlogged on these things. Wait, hold on. I about did it there. I about ADD'd off onto something else, didn't I? You guys, you got to catch me on that. Let me finish the first story first. So the Crisis set... basically, it's coming. It'll be here tomorrow. It better be very fine near mint, man. I really feel like, a Crisis set shouldn't be $75. Maybe it is. Actually, I'm going to leave that up there because I'm going to talk about that too. But anyway, so I'll let you guys know how that went. It'll be interesting. Here's the thing. What if they get here and they're not in the shape he said they are? I mean, what am I going to do? Like, I guess I could say something to him and just be like, hey, man, this isn't really where I thought it would be, but, like, how awkward is that? I'll probably just keep him and just never do business with him again. And, this is actually going to be one of those linchpin kind of deals, because if it goes well, I might pursue doing some more buying on Facebook. If it goes south, I'm going to tell you right now, it probably is going to scare me off of it entirely. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep y'all updated. As if you cared. So anyway, here's Ghost number 30. This was a cover Luther Manning featured the other day, which kind of got me to thinking about my transportation. I just like carriages and trains and boats and, just to a certain extent aircraft. I'm more into like land locomotion. I don't know. It's not even into this stuff, but I do seem to like the covers with trains on them especially. I do think trains are cool. I'm not an aficionado or anything, but I do have a couple trains on hand here. So anyway, yeah, a little train cover action. I don't know. I'm just killing the time here. This is not the usual style of video I do, so I need to find something to eat the time up with, right? Anyway, so there's Ghost number 30. Just something cool Luther Manning showed I thought was neat. We'll move along a little fast here because I got to get to at least 56, right? We're not even going to get close. So anyway... some of these covers are cool. Now, this one's kind of reminiscent of the early ones. The 20-cent era, you're still getting good covers on the Ghosts. It's when you get into the 25, 30, 35 cent that it really drops off. But these just still don't compare with the big three. The House of Secrets, that's a good one. I do like this cover. The House of Secrets, the House of Mystery, and the Witching Hour. In my opinion. Some of you might be like, nah, man, the Ghosts are the best. They are. They're just very skeleton-centric, and... Again, the skeleton's probably like my least favorite horror archetype. It just, I don't know. I don't even know if I use that word right or not, but it just, I don't know. Skeletons are cool. It just depends on how they're used. You know what I mean? Like, Ghosts really overuses the skeleton motif. Like, literally every cover is skeleton this, skeleton that. We might not even make it to 56 here, guys, because I don't want this to go much past 20 minutes. So we'll just go as far as we can, and I'll try to speed it up in the next video. Most of the good covers are in the first part anyway. But yeah, so anyway, what else is going on here? I got a couple other channels I wanted to mention that I didn't get a chance to last time, so I'll wrap up with that. One, I can't believe I didn't mention this in the last video, but I just do, as you can tell with this long, rambling, pointless thing, I kind of do things off the cuff. And so, I just went with the channels that were on the top of my mind at the moment. And then as soon as I got done with it, I was like, oh, man, I meant to mention this guy and this guy. So I wanted to at least finish that up. If you haven't checked this guy out, and I'm sure you have, because he's kind of up there with the Comic Crypt Castle Hills guys. He's kind of one of the godfathers of comics on YouTube, I think. It's Dr. SilverAge. The doctor is in. I wouldn't say, I'd like to say we're friends, but that would probably be a little presumptuous on my part. He's a cool dude, though, man. Dr. SilverAge is a cool guy. He's a checkerboard collector, which, like, you know, I am, the go-go checks, the DC checkerboards. He collects them, I collect them, so we got that in common. He just, you know, he's into a lot of the same stuff I'm into. I mean, everybody says that, but I just really dig his setup. I feel like, you know, he's a kindred spirit, and anyway, I really like his channel. He puts out some cool stuff, and he's a real genuine guy, real down to earth, kind of salt of the earth kind of dude, and absolutely one of the best on YouTube. So check him out, Dr. SilverAge. And then the last one I'll throw at you, and then we'll kind of wrap the video up here and move on. That's really thick. Oh yeah, I guess these are giant. I guess we've gotten into the giants. I didn't even catch that. Or that one was a giant. That's where it says it right up top. I don't really know how I missed that. But anyway, the other channel I'll put out there is John Wild. I'll put a link, or not. Yeah, I'll have a link in the description there, and he'll be in my featured channels list. His is not actually a comic book channel, so just, you know, fair warning. It's an action figure channel, vintage action figures. You know, vintage meaning like 80s, 90s, and older. Or, well, no, like 80s and older. You know, like he did the WWF series. He's done, you know, like the old Mego toys, or Mego, or however you say them. I'm not really a toy guy, but his stuff's really interesting. He's been a long time supporter of mine. I like his stuff, even though I'm not a action figure or toy guy really. Although I have a little bit. I think all of us have a little bit of that stuff, right? But anyway, so yeah, John Wild, check his channel out. I got a link there. I'm gonna wrap this up, man. We're gonna stop at 43. So this is Ghost 1 through 43. Long rambling video. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. I'm gonna get the other ones wrapped up quicker. On the second part, we'll finish the Ghost run, and then we'll move on from there. Thanks for keeping with me. See you next time.